Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we're talking about a missing 13-year-old girl, now 14-year-old Stefanie Damron, who was last seen September 23rd, 2024, but was reported September 24th, 2024, the next day in New Sweden, North Maine. And this is a very rural area near Canada, only about 11 miles from the border. Stephanie is described as 5 foot, 130 pounds, green eyes, and shoulder length brown hair. The FBI has been on this case since the beginning, as well as Maine State Police. And recently, there has been an update in the disappearance of Stefanie Damron. This is a very interesting case. If you're familiar with Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, very similar to that. A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They call me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's the twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is December 12th, 2025. It is currently 8:55 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello. everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Before we get started, my dear live chat, and for my replay crew, how are you? Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Would be so thankful. I would greatly appreciate it on this one, as Stefanie Damron does not get the coverage that she needs and deserves. Would really appreciate that. Um, this is a case that is very mysterious, very mysterious. They, let me just kind of give you a little. Oh my goodness, not a good time. My camera's going to die right now. Guys, can you give me 30 seconds? I apologize. 1 second. Okay, I just need to refresh and I'll be right back. I apologize, guys. It shouldn't have done that, but maybe my battery's getting old. I don't know. Good to see you all. Thank you, guys. I do apologize for that. Let me show you who Stefanie Damron is, and then we'll go from there. For those of you that just don't know about this case, I've been on this case pretty much from the beginning, but uh, just not a lot of things have happened in the case over the last year. Let me show you who Stefanie Damron is. Here is Stefanie Damron. This is a photo of her. And like I said, she is a 13-year-old girl. She would be 14 now. She disappeared on September 23rd, 2024, of West Road, New Sweden, Maine. Again, about 11 miles from the Canadian border. We are talking the most northern part of the United States, uh, in the, like the lower 48. Um, and she has not been seen at all since. Um, and when all of this happened, Stephanie's mom and dad, they said that they were at a job fair. Yes, we can see you want to be sleuthing. Sure can, honey. Cindy, thank you so much. 18 months, my dear. You are a rock star. Appreciate you very much, my love. So good to see you, and thank you so much for your membership. I do appreciate that. Mom and dad said that they were at a job fair. Now, the condition that Stephanie lived in was not good, in my opinion. She lived in a yurt, a sort of yurt. They lived off grid, off grid. And 1 second. And when they didn't have really, I mean, yeah, 10 to pretty, I mean, it was pretty, you remember now? Yeah. It was pretty bad, pretty bad. They didn't have really any electricity. I think they had a generator and all of that. But they said that Stephanie's older 18-year-old sister, um, they allegedly had an argument before Stephanie left, allegedly. And after they got in this argument, uh, Stephanie allegedly went out the back door, if you will, and went into the woods and just hasn't been seen since. And that's been that. The parents did not report her missing until the next day. This is a case that has divided the town, to say the very least. It has. And some people are, no suspect has been named. That, if Stephanie has, if this is foul play or not, but the FBI is on it, which in my opinion, that says a lot. But that's just a personal opinion on that. Um, I'm going to show you some. There's some updates because they had neighbors, and the neighbors was allegedly always calling CPS on the family because of kind of like how they lived. But now there is some new information that people are saying that Stephanie's was actually, I don't know, it just hasn't been on my other channel hyping. You can hype on my other channels, but this one, it just hasn't been, uh, it hasn't updated yet. I wish people could hype them right now, but it'll be here eventually. Eventually. News Nation, credit goes to News Nation. They did some a month or so ago on what's her age. She looks so little, so young. She's 13 when she went missing. She would be 14 now. This will kind of give you a rundown before we get into the weeds of all of it. And guys, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button or share this out. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. I really want to do this because she does not get the attention that it deserves.
Morning Hughes, and this is Missing. Thank you for joining us. Each week, we cover a missing person case that isn't getting much attention. This is livable.
Let me fast forward here.
Chris and I moved out here because we wanted peace and quiet. But then Stephanie came up missing, and it's like ever since then, everybody's on edge.
And her disappearance has divided the community. Coming up, Stephanie's dad speaks during a rare interview about his daughter's disappearance and more details about the remote community where the family was living.
Okay, so Christopher and Lisa, this is Stephanie's parents. They all used to live in Texas. In September 12th of 2014, Chris and Lisa was charged with endangering their children. And they were also charged with rug possession. But Christopher claims that it was from when he and Lisa were smoking Mary Jane in the car with the kids. They did lose custody of the children for about 6 months in Texas. But they about after 6 months, they got their kids back. CPS was a very common uh, thing in their lives, but that was the only time that they had ever lost their children. Does it have anything to do with Stefanie missing? Not directly. Not directly, no.
First, several updates to pass along in some other missing cases that we are following. The parents of Ashley Marie Williams are in California this week searching for their daughter. Ashley is 20.
Actually, where does it get to Stefanie here? 1 second. Just bear with me. Okay, here we go.
And now it has been a year, and the family's unconventional and reclusive lifestyle has churned up some suspicion, and the case has divided a town. In northern Maine, a state known for its stunning coastline and fresh lobster, a town is being ripped apart over the disappearance of Stefanie Damron. Her family says on September 23rd, 2024, when they weren't home, the 13-year-old got into an argument with her older sister and stormed off into the woods.
She just looked at her grandfather and told her grandfather, "I'll be back," and she never came back.
Stefanie's father has avoided being on camera, even when he spoke to a local podcast in March of 2025.
She was our handful, always into things, always into mischief, but she was a happy kid, always happy.
After a year of searches, state police, FBI, and local volunteers picking through dense vegetation and vast forests, there are still no answers about what happened to Stefanie. The Damrons moved to the remote area of New Sweden, Maine in 2021, choosing a spot far from the prying eyes of neighbors to live off the grid. No running water and only a generator for power. Their driveway, now a shrine to Stefanie, goes back several hundred yards to where.
Now, this is their driveway. It reminds you of kind of the wells. You know what I mean? That
where they built a small wood structure similar to a yurt, but with sleeping pods extended off the sides.
So a yurt is a tent-like structure. I didn't even know. I didn't know what a yurt was until the case that was in Arizona recently. It was I was like, "What's a yurt?" I never heard of a yurt. Melissa, thank you so much, my dear. It's so sad. So many children are going missing at 13. Melissa, let me tell you, it is. I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you how many kids nowadays are dying because of abuse. I can't even tell you. I couldn't. I could sit here 12 hours a day and I wouldn't get through 20% of what happens daily.
A glimpse is visible from this drone footage.
We live in a 200 square foot home that has 4 separate bedrooms, if you can believe that. They're talking about this being a yurt. It is a yurt. It's a hexa yurt built out of OSB and everything else, just like a normal house.
Known as Dale in the community, Stefanie's father says their solitary back-to-nature style of raising kids was a way to be free from the financial weight of a big mortgage and expensive utility bills. But even in this remote setting, his oldest girls found a way to connect.
They were waiting until Papa took his sleeping pills or wasn't paying attention. They would sneak off with his phone, get on some kind of weird website.
The story has sparked suspicion because.
So yeah, Dad says he would wait till Papa, the kids would wait till Papa took his sleeping pills and they would get on a weird website. Now, I think there is some evidence of Stephanie being on a website, but I don't think it has
The
anything to
phone
do.
was a flip phone, generally thought to be safer for kids and the internet. Police have not revealed any details.
Right, and it was a flip phone. They didn't go to school. Uh, it was a flip phone. Now, was it Plenty of Fish? Was that what it was? I think you're right. You're not getting on a website and actually doing shit with a flip phone. You're just not.
Details about the phone. But a neighbor says the last time she saw Stephanie, just weeks before the disappearance, she was asking for a ride to see a friend.
I was worried about where she wanted to go. I can kick myself for not asking her that day because she was really upset. She was crying. She couldn't find a ride. Her parents wouldn't take her. Her uncle couldn't take her.
Dale believes the day she walked off, she made a plan to meet up with someone at the road.
I honestly think that she got picked up by somebody. She thought she was going to come home that night, and they didn't bring her home.
Investigators won't say if they were able to get any information from the phone. In a recent update saying only, "We are hoping for the best outcome to find Stephanie alive." Volunteers continue to print flyers and hold rallies, but without more information, the disappearance has divided the town. The Damron's choice to live off the grid with young children in such an unforgiving environment has drawn criticism from neighbors.
We only want what's best for those children.
Who admit repeatedly calling Child Protective Services.
I was concerned that they had proper food, water, heat, and clothing for the conditions that they were living under.
They would come here and get water, and it would be like, I would have to say 3 to 4 times a week. They were like 5-gallon pails that they would haul up here, I think, in a wheelbarrow, I believe. And
That's fucking sad. Listen, if you want to live off grid, that's fine. But you don't even have freaking water. You have young girls with, this is not the 18 freaking hundreds. Right? Don't make the kids suffer. And to me, it's not that they wanted to live like this. To me, in my opinion, the family were out there because they didn't want to be really a part of society, and they wanted to do their own thing. Yeah. The kids thing. I mean, if you want to live off grid with kids or whatever, fine. But damn, have some running water and like something like kids can't function. This is almost 2026. Kids cannot function and be a part of society when they're a little bit older. The world's moving so fast.
they would fill them up and they would haul them back down that long driveway. My heart actually broke for them.
But Dale says because the kids were homeschooled, CPS workers have visited regularly.
I think they was homeschooled as about as much as the man in the moon. Again, here we are, guys. Another case with homeschooling. And again, I'm not knocking homeschool. Homeschool can be absolutely amazing. I have family members that homeschool and they do an exceptional job. However, I do believe there needs to be some stipulations on it as well, because it is also a way for abusive people and people who just don't want to, get their lazy asses up in the morning and get their kids, and so they just say, oh, we'll homeschool them. I'm not knocking homeschool. I want you to know that. But I am saying something They're not in, if these these homeschooling, you know, people that's doing it, if they're not, getting together with kids at least once a week or something, like, they need to be checked on.
And are satisfied.
We've been here for 4 years, and twice a year for 4 years, CPS has always come out here.
He's angry, wanting the focus back on the search for Stefanie.
Instead of putting all this negativity towards judging us, judging that, put that energy into finding my daughter. All I want is my daughter home where she belongs, where I can take care of her. Help us find our daughter.
Everyone admitting it's been a long year.
This has taken a tremendous toll on this community. It's a different place than it was a year ago.
Chris and I moved out here because we wanted peace and quiet. But then Stefanie came up missing, and it's like, ever since then, everybody's on edge.
Stefanie's parents with a message, hoping she finds her way home.
Please just come home. We love you. The family's not the same. None of us are the same. We're all missing a piece of our heart. We just need our baby home.
Joining us now, Christy Rand, volunteer with the group Friends of Stefanie, also Travis Hartford, co-host of the Locating the Lost, a true crime podcast. To you both, thank you so much for being here. Christy, let me start with you. Friends of Stefanie, tell me about this group and your involvement and why it's so important for you to find her.
So we've created.
My computer just went buzz. That was weird.
TeamStephanie.org specifically to kind of bridge a gap in communication between the community and the facts of Stefanie's case. So really what we're focusing on is a place for volunteers to upload flyers of Stefanie so people nationwide can download them to hang in their communities. We really just wanted a factual place to share information.
I mean, I guess this is the yurt behind them or whatever, but it just looks very sad. Very sad.
Information and dispel.
She's not smiling in any of these photos. Have you noticed this?
Kind of rumors related to her case and allow people, since this has gained national traction, a place that people can confidently go to know that they aren't getting misinformation.
And let's focus on the facts. What are the facts that stand out to you most about her disappearance that you want people watching to know about her case?
I think people need to stay focused on exactly what's showing here. Stefanie's picture, her height, her weight, her image, because that is what they need to know to be able to recognize Stefanie if they see her in a public place. And that's what we're trying to stick to.
Travis, at what point did you hear about this case and become involved?
About a week after she went missing, we started sharing.
He's got a good channel here on YouTube, Locating the Lost. 28 minutes, Julia. He's got a really good channel here. It's here on YouTube as well. I don't know. I think something really happened to this beautiful young girl, and we're going to get
posters
to some stuff here.
It seemed different, right? It's a 13-year-old girl in the middle of nowhere, kind of wandered off to the woods. No one has seen her since.
And what have you learned about the case in the last year as countless searches have taken place and there's been no sign of her?
So the law enforcement has kept it pretty close to the vest, what they do know. They're not sharing a lot with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dale coming on our podcast was a big help to let the general public understand how they live and how he feels about his children. And, it may not be the same as you and I, but he's definitely seems like someone that wants to take care of his children. Just raise them a little differently than the rest of us, I guess.
What else did he tell you, Travis, about what was happening within the family, specific to Stefanie, prior to her walking away that day?
He alluded to us that him and his wife, Lisa, were out at a job interview. And while they're gone, they received a text from the older daughter saying that
Listen to
Stefanie
this.
had been upset with her and she wandered off into the woods. When they got
Now, this is an 18-year-old daughter. 18-year-old daughter. Oh, me, my. Thank you so much, my dear. Welcome to the Pearl family. Really do appreciate you. And welcome, oh, me, my. Everyone, appreciate you, my dear. Welcome. Thank you. Really do appreciate you. And they said that they were at a job fair during this time. They said the 18-year-old sister and Stefanie got in an argument. They had gotten a call while they were allegedly at this job fair and all of that. Now, I do want to show you, we're going to come straight back to this in just a second, but I want to show you this channel because I really recommend people watching this. Oh, I just showed you the same one. Okay. The guy that's here on News Nation, he has it's a channel called Locating the Lost, and he has I don't know if this is a neighbor on here or if it's a family member or whatever, but on here, this woman, she says that the mom and dad said that the week before Stefanie went missing, that they said that they had a job. So if they already had a job, or why were they at the job fair now? It just what she says. Still,
home, Stefanie still wasn't back there. Dale thought that he was supposed to wait 24 hours before he could call the police. So they waited till the next morning to get the.
He says yes. And so Stefanie was not, nobody called that day. The dad says he thought they had to wait 24 hours. I'm frozen. Am I still frozen? Let me know. Hey, Danny Z, good to see you. Yeah. Someone. No, okay, I'm not. Someone doesn't have to be missing at all. They can be missing 10 minutes and you can call them in that they're missing. Don't ever. But I also believe, I'm not saying this in this case, but I also believe people can use that as an excuse as well.
The police involved. He did say that him and his wife Lisa did go around and try to look for her. They went up and down the road. They knocked on neighbors' doors as well.
What about the people that she was in touch with, Travis? What did Dale say about anyone he knew his daughter was speaking to?
He said he was not aware of her speaking to anyone initially. And then I guess talking to his older daughter, they had figured out that she may have been in contact with people online, people from further away. Somehow you.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it, guys. I do not buy this, in my opinion, that she like they had nothing. She didn't have a phone. There was grandpa's phone. It was a flip phone. Do you remember when the internet came out on our phones, on our flip phones? Like, you couldn't go on the internet even though it said you had the freaking internet. Like, you couldn't do anything. Right? You couldn't do anything. I mean, it was just crazy.
Using a cell phone that's a flip phone to get online and meet these people from beyond.
Christy, tell me about this area and what you all have learned as
She probably wanted to go with anyone that just had some damn electric and some water.
you've conducted searches and tried to get the word out.
Sad.
Well, in general, Stefanie was extremely far from a major city or a major metropolitan area. So you're surrounded by a very dense area of woods and have quite a distance between some of your closest neighbors. Maybe even like your closest neighbors in her case didn't have cameras that would have caught her coming and going consistently. We've learned that she's very secluded where she is, so not a lot of access to meeting new people organically per se. You know, she wasn't going to be coming across kids her age just out and about on her street. So very difficult time to make friends and have peers your own age. She was secluded and had limited resources.
That's awesome.
What have been some of the greatest challenges, Christy, for you and your group as you look into this case in trying to find answers and get information?
Well, I would say the lack of official updates from authorities is our biggest challenge. We have no official information to say whether or not Stefanie left New Sweden. There's been no confirmed sightings of Stefanie, say, in her closest cities like Caribou, Calais, Preston.
Yes, the jab, remember? You know, if it was like you want to do a J, it was like the number, what? Or like N, I think it was like N, J, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. You'd have to do like what? Press the number 6 like 4 times. One letter. Now we just swipe our fingers across, you know, or do voice to text or whatever. You know, it's really came a long way, but you know, but there's still people that have flip phones, right? I mean, the thing about the flip phones, they never broke. They never broke.
Isle. We have no confirmation of her being seen anywhere else in the state. And at this point, we are kind of up in the air about whether our efforts would be best to be focused in New Sweden or if this is nationwide and there's a reason to suspect that she could have left the town or the state. That's been our biggest roadblock, is trying to determine where to best put our resources and where they would be most effective, because we have no indication that there's any idea of where she is.
Travis, why do you believe that police remain so tight-lipped about a missing case that you would seemingly want more people to know about?
You know, I'd love to have an answer for you on that. My only guess is that they are investigating either individuals closer to the home, and they don't want them to know what they actually know.
Thank you.
Because I would feel like if they were really suspecting that she's somewhere else, they would be more upfront about, you know, who she might have been talking to online, any websites she might have visited, that type of stuff.
I know that the father was frustrated with what has happened in the community and
They are looking at people closer. It's, in my opinion, they're just looking at people closer. The FBI, the Maine State Police, have been extremely quiet on this. This is someone that had no resources, and there was a fight. There was a fight with an 18-year-old right before, and she just walks out. I mean, it could happen.
Criticism they have gotten. Can you elaborate on more about his concerns and what he said about that?
Yeah, so Dale, I think, has a lot of pride in himself and his family. You know, he wants to take care of his family, protect them.
When you go on shows like this, you can't be like we are right now. Like, you can't be They don't want someone to be like, yeah, the father knows, or the mother knows, or the uncle knows something. Generally, they want you to be very, just absolute, no opinions, really, just straight across the board.
And I think that going through a situation like this, I can't imagine even losing a child, and going through all this, but then to have seemingly the community kind of turn their back on them just because they live differently than others might live. Dale has been kind of short with people online and kind of calling people out. I think that is also causing people to be divided on how much they really feel for this family, because they think.
Well, I mean, the parents, they didn't speak for like a year, really, like a year on their missing daughter. Again, very weird.
Think that, maybe the family's involved.
Why does he believe that she got picked up by someone and had planned to come home?
So the night that she had gone missing, I guess someone in the home, either the grandfather, Richard, or one of the other children, had heard a vehicle possibly at the end of the driveway soon after she disappeared. So they suspected that maybe she'd gotten into a vehicle.
And what do we know, and Christy or Travis, either of you can answer if you know this, but what the argument was about with her older sibling that day?
So I'd asked Dale.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Travis, I'll have you answer first, and then Christy, I'll ask the same question to you.
I asked Dale that question on the podcast that we covered with him, and I find it odd that he said that he still doesn't know. He's asked his older daughter several times what the argument's about, and every time she gives him a different answer.
Hello. Hello. Then I'll tell you something. My 18-year-old daughter got in an argument with one of my kids, and one of my kids went missing, and you're giving me different stories. Ma'am, we going straight down to Maine office is where we going. We going straight down to the Maine police office. Right freaking now.
So I feel like that's kind of weird that after all this time, that's a turning point in this whole case, how he doesn't know what the argument was about.
And Christy, do you have something to add to that?
I was under the impression that earlier reports had kind of been made that the argument was about chores, that there was a back and forth between the siblings.
Yes, she's right. She is right. That was the first story. But then the father himself said on this gentleman's podcast that he didn't know.
Siblings about who was going to do what, or maybe it was Stephanie's turn to do something that she didn't want to do. But it was, the impression I was given was that it was to do with chores, household responsibilities, and two teenage girls, they're going to fight siblings. That's what they do. And I believe that was kind of where it stemmed from.
Christy, from the online community that has grown and interest in Stephanie's disappearance has become more known to people, have there been possible sightings that have been communicated to you all?
There have been possible sightings reported to us, but nothing that is concrete or confirmed. When volunteers, family members, authorities track those down, it doesn't seem that they are Stephanie. For example, community members thinking they may have seen her at a local park, and when that lead is kind of followed through with, it turns out that's another community member. Things like that, but there have been absolutely no confirmed sightings of any kind.
No, this happened September 23rd, 2024, a little over a year ago.
We've not received any tips or information that seem credible that we say, yeah, that seems like it's Stefanie. We've not heard anything along those lines.
Travis, the dad did talk to you, but the family has not wanted to speak to the media much in this case. I think every family member of a missing person handles these situations, difficult as they are, differently. Why has the family been reluctant to get out in front of cameras or do interviews and try to get the word out?
I don't know. I can't speak for them. In my history of meeting with families about their missing child or unsolved murder or something like that, people are very vocal. So for me to see the Damrons be kind of quiet and hush hush about it seems a little odd. But his reason for it, he says, is because law enforcement asked them to stay quiet in the beginning. So now it's been a year. Now he wants to be more vocal.
Yeah, understood.
Classic.
There are lots of layers, and no family ever wants to be in this position. Christy, anything else you want to share about the case, the facts, and your message to the broader community so that we can try to bring Stefanie home?
As far as the case and the facts, the fact is Stefanie was last seen leaving her home. There are no credible sightings of her. Community members all over the nation, people everywhere need to be looking at her image. And the only things that you need to know about Stefanie to identify her in public is what's on the missing persons flyers, the information about her family, her upbringing, her lifestyle. None of that's relevant to identifying Stefanie if you see her in a public place.
Yeah, we'll do our best to continue to share that as much as possible. Travis, I'll give you the final word. What do you think people should know most about this case and Stefanie's disappearance?
It's a mystery, right? I think that everyone needs to keep sharing her poster, just as Christy said, and share the stories about her, not about the family. This isn't about how she's raised or anything else like that. It's more important that we bring Stefanie home.
Yeah, this is a young girl who needs to be home, and we want to make sure we can do everything we can to make that happen. Christy and Travis, thank you guys for the work that you're doing to get the word out. We'll be in touch.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. If you have information about the whereabouts of Stefanie.
So that was like a month or so ago. And for the 1 year anniversary, the mother and father finally spoke out there in the public for their daughter. No, they just spoke out publicly just recently. Thank you, Roswell. Yep, Kelly. Bingo. Here is the voices of Lisa and Dale Damron.
As the 1 year anniversary of Stefanie Damron's disappearance approached, her parents agreed to a private interview with reporters. On Monday, September 22nd, the Damrons sat down to share their thoughts and memories. Per their request, only audio was recorded during the interview. What followed was a personal conversation about grief, hope, and the search for answers. How have the authorities been with all of this?
The authorities have been great. But there's certain things that I wish they would share more
This is Dad.
of with me. I'm getting to a point after 1 year. I can understand it in the beginning. Let's not talk a whole lot about it. But now it's been 1 year. What they need to say something. It's getting to a point where it's losing the flame. It needs to be rekindled. Somebody needs to go on national TV and say something, or even state TV.
Well, yeah, Gypsy, we see you, baby. I see you now. I didn't see you a minute ago, but I see you now. Sometimes it does that. It'll like filter. I don't know why it does that. But like I said, nobody can be a better advocate for Stefanie than Lisa and Dale.
That's why I'm here doing it. They won't do it, so somebody's got to do it. It's my daughter. I've played by their rules long enough now. It's time for me to come out of the closet and let my side be heard from
I feel like there's rugs.
my family. So, but the authorities have been what they have been. They've done their job. They've done grid searches. I've had so many people out here searching, it's not even funny. FBI, DNR, game warden service. I've had the forest rangers out here, drones, helicopters. They did the 50-foot by 50-foot grids of over I think they said 4,500 acres, 5,500 acres. It was somewhere in there. And they did every bit of it with 50-foot by 50-foot grids with helicopters and drones. So it's all been, they did their job. They did their job. But now it's a point where we need to do something different.
You said play by the rules. Did they ask you to be quiet?
They asked us in the beginning because there was just no leads on my daughter. It literally, for a lack of better words, it was like aliens abducted her. And they didn't want too many things out there because, hey, you know, somebody could use that information against it. They could get scared, find out something they didn't want to find out. It could change. It would have changed a lot of things at the wrong bit. Just a little tiny piece of information got out there. It could have changed the perspective of it altogether. So
the main thing they were worried about is somebody hurting her if they had her. And as soon as they found out how old she really was, you know, somebody do something to get rid of her so they don't get caught.
In other words, a bad catfish. You know, and that's what they were. They honestly were afraid of that. You know, they were one of the main concerns was my daughter said that she was 18. Some dude found out that she wasn't really 18, freaked out. That was just one of the millions of things that they was afraid of. So that was one of the reasons why they didn't want us on national TV. And so there was good. I mean, I wanted to scream from the rooftops. Like all these people on Facebook, they're like, well, why didn't you scream? Oh, because if I did, this would have changed everything.
How? Hey, Cassie. How? If authorities don't know where she is or what happened, how does a parent saying, baby, come home, Stefanie, we're here, how does that change it? I would just love to know that. This is the FBI is on it. Yeah. This is a classic excuse.
You know, and people don't understand that. They just want to jump to assumptions, and we both know what assumptions are. You know, they just make an ass out of you and me. Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, FBI, state police, they explained why they wanted what they wanted from me.
And they really didn't want me going on Facebook asking for help. But when I
still think that was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
Should have never. I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but I'll say it now. The biggest mistake we made was asking the public for help. We should have never once involved the public. After 1 year, maybe, yes. But
the biggest mistake was asking the public for help. That's interesting because the public is generally who solves it. They see someone out there that, yeah, he did, Leanne. Sure did. Or lean on me, sorry. That's the biggest mistake, he says, is asking the public for help. That's interesting.
In the beginning, no, we should have never asked the public for help because the public is ate up with evil like cancer. I'm sorry to say it. Read Facebook, read the things they're saying about my family.
Well, I agree. There are a lot of evil ass people out there. That's a fact. But because someone doesn't believe you doesn't mean they're evil. They still want Stefanie found, which is the same thing you want, right?
All of it totally unfounded. It's nasty. It's just nasty, and we don't deserve it. But
I imagine that must be exceedingly painful to not be able to say anything and to love your daughter so much. And
it was extremely painful. I mean, it was extremely painful, but I understood it. I mean, but it doesn't change the facts of how bad it really still hurt.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't change the pain when you don't know, and that's what kills us. We don't know. Did she do it on her own? Was she kidnapped? Is she in the ditch? Is she, shacked up with somebody? Did she get pregnant? Don't want to tell us. There's so many, and that's what kills us. We don't know. We need to know.
If Stefanie were to see the story that we end up doing about this for her anniversary, was there anything you guys would want to say to her?
Same thing we've said from the beginning. Just come home. We'll figure it out. I mean, there's no hard feelings after, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 1 day or 1 year. I mean, it's the same feelings as it was in the beginning. Come home, let's figure it out. We're family. We fight, we figure it out and then we forget it. That's the way, when you're this tight knit, that's the way our family, and that's the way it should have been dealt with. It shouldn't have been dealt with this. Whatever happened, if she does read it, whatever happened, just come home. Plain and simple. I mean, there ain't
I don't think that they've ever taken a polygraph test.
nothing worth keeping you away from home, because this is all for her, all for these kids. That's what all this is for. 15, 20 years, me and her ain't going to be here. It's going to be all for the kids. And she needs to be here and be part of it, because her brothers and sisters, they all miss her. Her little brother, he used to be such a happy.
Cassie, did you go to Oahu or did you go to Maui? Did you go to the Big Island? Which one did you go? Hawaii is beautiful.
Kid, now he's nothing but a ball of anger because his best friend is not there anymore. It's ripped our family apart from the inside out. But whatever, if she reads it, just come home.
And
Plain
if
as
somebody
simple.
has her or knows where,
He gives you the Proudfoot vibes, doesn't he? He gives you the same sound, the way he speaks. Lots of confidence and a little bit of arrogance.
she's at, please report it to somebody, anybody, any details that they have. I mean, even if they think it's her and it's not her, still report it. Let them give them a chance to take and look into it to see. But if somebody has her, please let her go. Please. That's what I'm begging.
Driving here and everything, this is such a peaceful.
Oh, Maui's nice. Maui's relaxing. Maui's very relaxing. Cassie, next time go to Oahu. Go to Oahu. They have everything. It's got the city. It's got the relaxing as well. It's got where Pearl Harbor happened and all that.
Neighbors that love me so much, they want to swear on a stack of Bibles, and I'm going to tell you, they're going to burn in them flames that them Bibles are on.
Now, the neighbors, that's what we're getting to. The neighbors. Just wait.
But plain and simple, we live so far out here. It's, it's away from everything. It is away from everything. So
Doesn't it make you wonder, like, what could have happened? Because there's nothing.
That's what scares us more than anything. That's what, in the same sentence, it scares us to death in one sentence, but at the same time, it gives us hope because they haven't found her body in the woods. And that's in one sentence, like I said, it scares the living hell out of me. But in the same time, it gives me hope because she could still be out there. But it could mean that she could be out there and somebody picked her up and,
You're pretty close to Canada, too, right?
Yes.
Have they explored Canada?
Yes. They've done, basically, if you go draw a line across Presque Isle. Now, I don't know what's going on down south because I heard there was a bunch of stuff that went on down south that I don't know about. But if you draw a line straight across Maine through Presque Isle, everything south has been searched by helicopters, drones, the lakes, the rivers, dogs. And I don't know about the private or the public help because I didn't pay attention to it because my feelings about the public I'll keep to myself. But I do know DNR was up here. I know the Game Warden Service was up here. I know FBI, State Police. I know everybody. It was all searched with helicopters, drones, boats, canoes, everything.
People on horseback?
On horseback, everything. And that is even on the Canadian side, too. It was a joint effort between, I forgot what they called them up there, but there's also an FBI task force in Canada for it. But it's all been searched.
Is there anything you feel the authorities could be doing more?
You haven't found a body in the woods.
At this point, like I said earlier, somebody needs to go on TV and say something to the public.
then get your ass on TV. Maybe.
Because at this point, me and my wife literally feel like it's getting to a point where we're being left out to dry by the state police. All these nasty rumors and things being said. I mean, and I'm not going to go into
Okay.
details. There's a really dark side to some of the things that's being said about my family. I mean, threats against us and everything. And it's all because of assumptions. And state police, FBI, somebody needs to go on TV and make some kind of statement. You know,
They need to update the public.
yeah, they need to tell the public that we have been investigated. I mean, forget hurting our cupcake feelings because there is none. Tell the public we have been investigated. CPS is investigated. State police. It needs to come from their mouth to the public, so that will stop 90% of the problems we're having with these Facebook groups and things. But the state police won't do it. They won't.
Well, if they won't do it, does that mean you've been cleared? He really does sound like CP, Connie. He really does sound like CP. Why won't the state police do that? To me, that's interesting.
Won't do it for whatever reason they've chose. They won't do it, and all it would take is just a 2-second, hey, this is an update on the case of Stefanie, but they won't do it. It seems like they would rather let a wildfire run wild and burn itself out than deal with it in the beginning. We literally have an assigned CPS caseworker because of all the nasty things that our CPS caseworker has literally gotten to the point now when she receives a call, the person will say, oh, I was on their property. I seen it with my own eyes. The only thing she asks them is describe the driveway. As soon as they can't describe the driveway, she don't even pay it no mind no more. Because nobody comes back here. Literally, nobody comes back here. But the things that are like, oh, I've seen this, I've seen that. And I can't do nothing but sit on the other side of that screen and laugh at it because I'm thinking to myself, how did you see this stuff? I mean,
I wouldn't find it funny. I wouldn't laugh at it.
how do you know my yard's full of garbage? My wife and me cleared this with nothing but a push lawnmower and a walk behind string trimmer. That's what we started out with. This year we upgraded to a tractor and the sawmill and chain. So it's just one thing at a time.
I was wondering, did you clear the drive?
Yeah.
Did you clear all those trees, cut all those trees?
The first year with the driveway, I was telling them about it. The first year with the driveway, I had a brand new Jeep Cherokee. It was supposed to be a Trailhawk. It's built for off-road.
Yep. This is their interview to the press.
Road. My driveway, literally, I had my uncle take it in for inspection. The inspection station literally told me, let them repossess it. The car's worth nothing. You have nothing left underneath it. So my driveway literally ate it. And
I don't think they favor each other, but I think they both have that worn rug look to them.
And this year we rented the dozer, and Unc spent about 2 days putting the driveway in, what you see there. But it used to have ditches that were literally that deep. He wouldn't even bring his Subaru down it.
So was this a dream to have like
This is about our 5th time going at this.
Oh, yeah.
This ain't the first time we've tried this. Just things happen in life, kids, things happen and things fall apart and we have to give up. We end up back in a house renting. We get tired of renting again and we try again. But this time it finally took, and this time we got it. After trying it about 4 or 5 times, we got it figured out this time. So, but this time we chose to, what?
How long have you guys been here at this spot now?
5 years. And we don't plan on going nowhere. This time when me and my wife did it, we chose the harshest, roughest place to do it in. And it was one of the best things for us because it made us realize who we were as people. Living like this really made us realize.
I bet it did.
Because this life is not for everybody. I mean, either it's for you or you can't do it. There's no in between. There's no, oh, I like a little bit. You either like it or you hate it. There's no, and me and her, we love it. I mean, she hates winter. If she didn't have to go out, she would be all right. But, because wintertime, she's got to walk up and down the driveway most of the time with sleds and the kids. And we literally track everything in. So we only do our big shopping once a month in the wintertime. So All the kids go up there. It looks like a train coming down the driveway. All the kids got sleds because $1,100 worth of groceries in a month's time. That's a long ways to go, a half mile back in the. So
$1,100 for how many people live there? I know at least 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 people. That's I mean, 5 people, $1,100 is not much food for a month. For like 5 or 6 people, that's for a month, $1,100?
kids all load up and we make a one giant load in. So
Would you feel comfortable telling us a little bit about Stephanie, what kind of a girl she is?
Stephanie was she was the light of the life. She really was. She was the complicated one. If everything was going perfect, I mean, we had everything figured out.
I mean, it's not nothing, but it's not like um but they say that Stephanie was the active one, the the one that got more into trouble, I guess you could say, which is interesting. Listen how it describes
Us
her.
a little bit about Stephanie, what kind of a girl she is.
Stephanie was she was the light of the life. She really was. She was the complicated one. If everything was going perfect, I mean, we had everything figured out. Stephanie would be the one like, nah, this is too easy. We're going to go left. She would do something just to throw things off the track and just sit back. And, that was just Stephanie. She kept life interesting. She gave us the reason to laugh. I mean,
Doesn't he sound just like Chris?
she was always a reason to laugh. I mean, she liked to stay when she didn't want to be bothered. She'd stay to herself. She loved her coloring and her
It's all
drawing, and
past tense.
going out in the woods and spending time by herself and everything. But that was Stephanie. That was Stephanie.
That wasn't Stephanie. That is Stephanie.
That is Stephanie. She was not complicated. She was a very simple child. I mean, she was easy to keep happy. She was
Very
always a
visible.
happy child. I mean, I look back at pictures and I'm trying to see at any point in time that she was not happy. And I ain't got no pictures of any point in time that she was not a happy child. She was always an extremely happy child, to a point sometimes too happy. She could laugh when no one else could laugh.
And no matter how bad you felt or how bad of a day you had, she would always be right there making you.
I mean, that's like one time our brothers were playing out in the woods and her brother was, messed his toe up real bad, almost took the thing off. And mom got it taken care of and everything. And for a week afterwards, Stephanie just thought it was funny because Bubby wouldn't be doing anything. She'd have to touch it. And then she'd sit back and smile real big on it. And for a week straight, it wasn't done out of meanness or nothing. She had to push that button. I mean, she had to just anything to get a giggle, anything to get a giggle. She was a very, very happy child. I mean, I just recently put some posts up on Facebook with some pictures from further back that I look back at, and all my kids were extremely happy. They always got along and everything. I mean, they fought like any other kids, but when the fight was over, me and mom didn't usually break it up. We let them work their differences out, and they always got along better for it. I mean, honestly, they got along better for it.
Well, no one was there to break up the fight when the 18-year-old and her got in a fight, right?
Very tight-knit crew. Very tight-knit crew. And Stephanie was the leader of the crew for the most part. Even Star followed her. So.
Would you guys be comfortable sharing kind of what you remember of the day that she went missing?
Same, Kelly.
I try to explain this to people now as you guys have walked down the driveway. Maybe it'll make sense to you. That morning, I'm not going to go into all the details. I'm going to give it as basic as I can.
Why? Why would you give it as basic as you can? If you have nothing to hide, you hide nothing, right?
Her sister and her got into an argument. Whatever it was over, we'll never know. We don't really, at this point, it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, it certainly does matter. And it was over chores in the beginning, but now he says we'll never know. We don't know what it was. We never know. And then he says the 18-year-old keeps changing the story. Mm-mm.
But they got into an argument. Stefanie, from what I was told, took off through the woods. When I say took off through the woods, if you look at how our driveway shooks around, she went out by what we call the pig pen. That's where that black building is and everything. And if you go right down through there, there's a trail. It's overgrown now because the kids don't even want nothing to do with the front part of the property anymore. But the trail used to be real prevalent through there. And it would go straight down to where the mud hole was at that time. It's just a mud puddle now, but used to be a mud hole that was a couple foot deep. The kids would go down there, catch tadpoles and everything. And that's what everybody up here assumed she had done, was cut through the woods, went down the trail, down to the mud hole and play. Well, when we came home, no Stefanie. Every state I've been in, it's always been, oh, we can't do nothing for 24 hours. Okay, so next morning I woke up, I didn't even wait 24 hours. It might have been 12 hours that she had been missing. The sheriff's department came out first. Within 10 minutes of the sheriff's department coming out, state police was coming down the driveway. And that's when everything it broke loose at that point. I mean, it was very quick, it was very simple, and it was brutal. I mean, it was. But because when me and mom came home, you know, we didn't know nothing. I mean, we didn't know nothing. All we told was that they got into an argument and that Stefanie walked off. You know, so we're under the assumption that she's just out in the woods chilling out, because my kids, they live in the woods. I mean,
Right. Every state I've been in, question mark, how many kids gone missing from his house? Well, that's a good question, the way he makes it sound. Now, they did live in Texas and other states, but from what I understand, but Texas, they did lose the kids for 6 months. On, let me pull my notes here, September 12th, 2014, Christopher and Lisa, they were charged with abandoning and endangering their children and drug possession. Now, Christopher here, he claims that it was from when him and Lisa were smoking Mary Jane in the car with the kids, but it's never been verified. That's never been verified. We just know that they lost the kids for about 6 months on September 12th, 2014. This was in Texas. They got the kids back after the 6 months. They said that CPS was at their home many times with with the state of Maine, state of Texas, and everywhere else because of the way that they lived. When Stefanie went missing, CPS was allegedly called again.
my dog, he lives in the woods. I mean, all my kids and everything. I mean, that was one of the reasons why we moved so far back here, is so I didn't have that road to deal with. All I had to deal with was the woods. That's why I have a yard full of dogs. If one of my kids gets lost in these woods, I've got enough dogs that I can turn them loose within a couple hours. I can find them. Even the day.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's why I've got a bunch of dogs. If I got a kid loose or gets lost, that we'll find him in a couple hours. Well, apparently not. Apparently not. Because we're at, what, 15 months now? Help me, Lord.
That's the trail used to be real prevalent through there, and it would go straight down to where the mud hole was at that time. It's just a mud puddle now, but used to be a mud hole that was a couple foot deep. The kids would go down there, catch tadpoles and everything. And that's what everybody up here assumed she had done, was cut through the woods, went down the trail, down to the mud hole and play. Well, when we came home, no Stefanie. Every state I've been in, it's always been, oh, we can't do nothing for 24 hours. Okay. So next morning I woke up. I didn't even wait 24 hours. It might have been 12 hours that she had been missing.
Oh,
Sheriff's Department came out first.
like-
It was brutal. I mean, it was. But because when me and mom came home, you know, we didn't know nothing. I mean, we didn't know nothing. All we told was that they got into an argument and that Stefanie walked off. You know, so we're under the assumption that she's just out in the woods chilling out because my kids coming out, state police was coming down the driveway for 24 hours. Okay. So next morning I woke up. I didn't even wait 24 hours. And it was very quick. It was very simple. And it was brutal. I mean, it was. But because when me and mom came home, you know, we didn't know nothing. I mean, we didn't know nothing. All we told was that they got into an argument and that Stefanie walked off. You know, so we're under the assumption that she's just out in the woods chilling out because my kids, they live in the woods. I mean, my dog, he lives in the woods. I mean, all my kids and everything. I mean, that was one of the reasons why we moved so far back here is so I didn't have that road to deal with. All I had to deal with was the woods. That's why I have a yard full of dogs. If one of my kids gets lost in these woods, I've got enough dogs that I can turn them loose within a couple hours. I can find them. Even the day that Stefanie went missing, that was the first thing I did was I turned the dogs loose. All my dogs kept going to the front of the property,
That's nobody has a cold. That's the mom is actually crying during this interview.
So, and if my kids are in the back of the property, that's where my dogs will go.
So, it's a year. I know you want more people to know about it now. You want to really get the word out.
Well, see, there lies in the problem. Lies in the problem. It's not the fact of getting more people to get the word out. If people would take the simple fact of the matter and take the focus off of my family, take that focus that they've got on my family and put it on Stefanie, there would be 3 times more focus on the fact.
Well, if you would take the focus off people having focus on you and just talk about Stefanie and I don't know, do an interview or so, you know, not wait a year, that would be the best.
It's not the fact that we need more focus. It's the fact that people need to place their focus where it belongs. Because there is plenty of focus out there. It's just that focus ain't where it needs to be. It's all on assumptions about my family. Quit assuming about my family. My family's been checked out. Quit focusing on us and focus on Stefanie. Because that would put 3 times more focus on Stefanie just by doing that one simple thing. And that doesn't change nobody's day. It doesn't change what anybody does. It just changes the fact of what they're focusing on. If they would focus on my daughter and the rumors that about my daughter or she's been seen here, well then, hey, let's start big Facebook groups about that. You know, let's start a big Facebook group just about the rumors about the sightings of Stefanie Damron. You know, you're going to go tell the state police about it. Let's have a group where we can share all these rumors together too. You know, but no, we have all these groups that want to share rumors about my family.
Exactly, finger banging.
There's only one group on Facebook that I found that has actually tried to do anything to help us. And that's it. I mean, we've been searched. And that's one of the biggest rumors is that we have not cooperated. And I mean, at one point in time, we had literally so many helicopters and drones above our property and above this general area that they had to ground the drones because they were running into each other. I don't remember which one of the 3-letter agencies, but one of the 3-letter agencies lost a very extremely expensive drone because it ran into the helicopter. And I was at that point that they literally grounded everything. That's how thick these.
That was the FBI.
That was the FBI. I mean, they literally crawled underneath every rock. I mean, they were doing infrared. They were doing these weird new green thing. I mean, things I've never even seen before.
See, if
well, we're going to get to here shortly. This is almost over, but someone saying that there's one place that's way out in the woods in a swampy area that they haven't checked. I think the dad might have said it. Don't quote me on that.
And authorities would do what they're supposed to by doing the interviews, updating people and everything and letting them know what's going on. They would know all this. They wouldn't keep saying, well, we need to search your property. Why ain't y'all letting us search your property? This, that, and the other, because the detective literally told us that what good is it going to do searching it anymore? They've done searched it so much that they haven't found anything. And that's like, I do know, I don't know if I should say this, but I do know that when they were searching, I mean, little animal bones, whatever they found, they were having it sent down to see what they could find it was. Anything they found.
And the state police, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be polite about it no more. I've waited a year. I've played by everybody's rules for a year. State police needs to get up off their ass and make a statement to the public. Let the public know, don't worry about us. I mean, there's nothing left that can be said or, let the public know that we've been investigated, literally had them crawl up our ass. I mean, we got a CPS caseworker. I mean, and that's another thing. The school wants to twist it into that we got a CPS caseworker because of abuse. We don't even have a true CPS caseworker. We have a CPS advocate because of the child's education.
Well, it is a fact in September 12th, 2014.
They were behind in school. They were behind in their lessons. We had a CPS advocate step in because there was going to be a lot of back and forth between the schools and us. And we felt, and they felt, it was best that we have someone that goes in and mediates between the two of us. Hey, we were all on board with that. I mean, that's like in the beginning, we had CPS called on us. I'm not going to mention the state trooper's name. We actually had a state trooper call CPS on us, come out and tell CPS that our house was dirty, that our house was falling in, our property was full of this and that, we didn't have heat. I mean, that was a state trooper that lied to CPS on us.
I do not believe for a second a state trooper lied on them. No. Nope.
And come to find out, he's associated with all this garbage that's around here. I mean, it needs to stop. It really needs to stop. They need to let the public
no
know.
offense, screw about minding your feelings. They need to do something about one person spreading lies, but they also need to do something about the kids. Because, I mean, my daughter, Natty, she takes up for the two little ones because her two little siblings are there with her and stuff. Well, she's got to hear, oh, they fed her to the pigs. I'm glad.
I guess they do have pigs then. I just feel sorry for the kids that right, Pugs. The yurt is fine. They, however, are not. I feel terrible for these kids.
She ran away. I mean, stuff like she don't need that while she's trying to take care of the siblings. I mean, she keeps Mo and Bo pretty well protected from having to hear the stuff. But she takes it on her, and it is literally turning her hateful.
Ma'am, aren't you supposed to be taking care of the siblings? Aren't you the
I don't know what
mother?
to do about it. They hear it from home, and then they come to school and start on her.
Well, Drew, you know what I'm talking about. I will not mention no names of any groups.
Are they, I guess they're in school now?
Was literally at one point in time a group literally dedicated to spreading rumors that could go back to school and get CPS to try and take my kids from me. That was the whole goal of this group, was to have CPS take my kids from me. And CPS, as many times they showed up, they literally were getting calls every day on the day from the school, from everybody. And every time CPS showed up, there was absolutely no grounds, zero grounds. And 99% of them, when they came back, CPS had to write on the report. And it's hard for CPS to write this on the report, but CPS had to write on the report that the report was false, that it was false. And for CPS to say, yeah, it was false, then that right there should say something.
We even had a lady come out. I think it was the first.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Kelly. I mean, you got like teenage, you got women in this house, and they don't have running water. Every few days, they would go to the neighbor's house with a wheelbarrow and like 3 or 4 5-gallon buckets. But when women are getting their monthly and all, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the 1800s anymore. They got to go to school.
Here, we lived here. She came out here for 6 months. We requested, because she said, you can request somebody. We even done that so we could get all the rumors and stuff to stop. Well, it didn't do no good, because as soon as she left, here come all the rumors back and the calls back to CPS.
Like I explained to you earlier, and no, I am not saying this in a derogatory way, and please do not twist my words. Stefanie was simple-minded. She seemed simple. She
was-
seemed either good or bad. She did not see in
She's
between.
a follower. She's not a leader.
So have you shared your thoughts with the police?
Yes.
Have you shared these thoughts with the
Yes.
police? What have they done about that?
We honestly, at this point, I'm finding out that we don't honestly know as much as we probably should. I mean, it's all rumors, it's all speculation, and that's why if I'm going to do interviews, I'm not going to do video. I'm going to do audio because I want everybody to feel it. I don't want some video. Oh, okay. Well, my kids have got toys. Well, you know how expensive kids' toys are. My wife can get them off the side of the road for a dime a dozen. They play with them until they're bored, and then we throw them in the fire pit and we get them new ones.
I mean, I'm not going to shame anybody for buying secondhand toys or anything like that. But damn, do they ever get their kids anything new? You throw them in the fire pit. Sounds like it's Chris 2.0. Throwing shit away.
Our kids go through toys like you wouldn't believe. So, you know, and people will see that on videos. That's like our house. We don't let pictures of our house be taken because people see it and then they all of a sudden they want to make us out to be this homeless family living in downtown Seattle. We're not. Just because.
Well, I mean, you live in a yurt in basically Canada. I don't know how many kids they have.
Because I'm different doesn't mean I'm a bad person. Just because we live different. We chose this. And we chose this after living every which way possible. And this was the way that we were happy. This is the way our kids were happy. And the most important thing is these kids being happy.
Stephanie comes home. What would be the first thing you'd want to do?
Put my arms around her.
Shut up. Hold on. I am getting two parents, Dale and Lisa, and they have 6 children. 8 people in the yurt. And then there is the 80-year-old man referred to as Grandpa. He's not a biological family member. He is a longtime family friend. Mm. He's not really an uncle. And $1,100 for 9 people is not good. Yeah. It says 6 kids, 2 parents, and the uncle or grandpa. Uncle Andrew is what they call him, or they call him Grandpa, but or Uncle Andrew. No running water.
Either that or get my wife to smack me and make sure I'm even, you know, it's real.
She's out here walking by herself. How old is you?
Okay. Well, there's that. All right. So now, some new things that is out. According to Crime Online, Stefanie Damron, inconsistencies swirl around dad of missing 13-year-old neighbors. This is yesterday. As new details have emerged in connection with the disappearance of 13-year-old Maine girl who vanished in 2024. As Crime Online previously reported, Stefanie Damron disappeared on September 23rd, 2024, while under the care of, uh, now they're saying, the family friend, 80 years old, grandpa, in New Sweden, according to the parents. Stephanie's mother told police she left to complete a job application paperwork while the man, reportedly known as Grandpa, watched 4 of her 6 children. Maine State Police said Stephanie's parents stated that she was last seen walking into the woods along West Road in New Sweden. She purportedly left after an argument with her sister. According to the Daily Mail, the teen had been living in a wood framed yurt and with her sister, 18, and then 80-year-old man when she vanished. Her parents, really? I did not know that. It says her parents lived nearby in a trailer with their younger children. Really? So the mom and the dad and the younger sister, or the younger kids, live in a trailer, and then the 80-year-old, the older siblings, live in the wood yurt. Is that right, Cold Moon? I didn't see it. Okay. The teen's father, Christopher Dale Damron, 48, has since given conflicting information regarding her disappearance, according to what neighbors told the outlet. We're going to get more to that in a minute. 2 neighbors told the Daily Mail that they heard a loud argument before Stephanie's disappearance. Some neighbors have disputed the father's claims that he asked neighbors to help right away, stating that they didn't realize she was missing until days later. One of the neighbors, 74-year-old Doug Tinsley, said that turmoil with the family had begun before the teen's disappearance. Something was escalating, right? Quote, people who think this all started with Stephanie disappearance have it all wrong, end quote, Tinsley said. It was actually like watching a train wreck in slow motion from the time that they got here, end quote. The family arrived in the area of 2021. Before that, while in Texas, the Damron couple reportedly lost custody of their other children for 6 months in 2015. I told you guys that earlier. It happened following the parents' arrest for public intoxication. They were allegedly smoking weed with their kids in the car. There had also been an issue in Texas that prompted CPS to become involved, with reports that Stephanie had run away in the past. In Maine, the family lived with no indoor plumbing or running water, and only a generator for power. Neighbors said the children were often seen in filthy clothing. Dale Damron, according to News Nation, told a local podcast that they chose to live a certain way to ease the financial burden on the family, and that the focus should be on finding his child. Quote, I was concerned with that they had proper food, water, heat, and clothing, for the conditions that they were living under, end quote, Tinsley said. Dale Damron also told the podcast that his daughter may have used the grandfather's flip phone to get someone to pick her up. Investigators have not commented on whether they obtained the information from the phone. The Maine Warden Service and the State Police Canine Unit have previously searched swaths of land near where the teen disappeared. The FBI is also helping in the search and is currently offering a $15,000 reward, quote, for information leading to the safe return of Stefanie Damron and or leading to the arrest and prosecution of anyone involved in her disappearance, end quote. Stefanie is described as 5 feet tall, weighing 130 pounds, with green eyes and shoulder-length brown hair. She was last seen wearing blue jeans, a long-sleeve blue shirt, and a black Harley-Davidson hiking boots. Anyone with information is asked to call the Maine State Police at 1-800-924-2261 or 207-532-5400. You can also call the FBI tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI, or you can submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. I want to cry. I truly just want to cry. The kids have to grow up in this shit. It really, really sad. Okay. Here we go. 1 second. Okay. New details emerge in the disappearance of Stefanie Damron. Someone posted this. New details emerge in the disappearance of Stefanie Damron. A disgruntled next-door neighbor of the Damron family, Shelley Carson of New Sweden, Maine, they... Mm. 1 second here. Here's another picture of the parents. Lisa and Dale Damron. Right there. Lisa Damron holds, okay, this is where they have built a Stefanie, they say Lisa Damron holds out hope that her daughter Stefanie Damron will come home, and she made this memorial for her return. Very interesting. I mean, this is, let me hold on 1 second. Okay. I'm trying to find that thing where the neighbor recently spoke out. Let me try this one right here. I just want to cry for this girl and these kids.
Since 13-year-old Stefanie Damron went missing from her New Sweden home.
Authorities searching thousands of acres and sharing Stefanie's image across the state, but police have not found any evidence to explain her disappearance.
Kay McCusker tonight joining us live here in studio. And Kate, I know you've been going over this case. What have you found?
Well, John, Megan, Stefanie Damron's disappearance has received national attention, with police receiving tips from across the country and even in Canada. But today, 1 year later, Damron remains missing.
She's a 13-year-old child that disappeared, just disappeared.
On September 23, 2024, then 13-year-old Stefanie Damron walked out of her family's rural home in New Sweden and into the woods by West Road. She has not been seen since.
She fell off the face of the earth, and those things don't happen out here in this week.
Damron's family lives off the grid in Aroostook County. The children are homeschooled without access to cell phones or computers, and Stefanie often would go out into the woods on their property.
It was not uncommon. This was not uncommon behavior for Stefanie.
Her parents reported Stefanie missing when she did not return home after 24 hours. And in the years since, the Maine State Police, Maine Warden Service, and FBI have scoured more than 4,500 acres, utilizing canine teams and drones, and conducted dozens of interviews, but they have not reported any evidence that would explain her disappearance.
Our priority has been getting her image seen, getting her story out there.
Christy Rand is part of a group called the Friends of Stefanie, with community members organizing searches, vigils, and information about the case. While they're thankful for police efforts, she says they're hoping for more transparency, since the last press conference from police was back in December of 2024.
Even a glimpse of a media release to say whether or not there's a threat to the general public, or if this is an isolated incident, if they have identified suspects, or if they have cleared certain suspects.
Yet 1 year since her disappearance, the group says they're not giving up hope, and they will continue the search for Stefanie.
We are very hopeful that she is safe and healthy and obviously alive. If that's not the case, all the efforts that we're doing, because she deserves to be brought home and deserves to be found.
Now, this is the missing persons poster for Stefanie Damron, which can be seen throughout the state. She's described as 5 feet tall with brown hair and green eyes. The FBI is offering a $15,000 reward for any information. And if you have a tip, you can reach out to them or the Maine State Police Barracks in Holton. Live in the studio, I'm Kate McCusker for Maine's Total Coverage.
Okay. I just get a bad feeling about this. Big old bad feeling about this. There was a thing on here. Let me look. Hold on. Let me refresh this. Here we go. Here's the dad talking.
For more than a year are speaking out. 14-year-old Stefanie Damron was last seen on September 23rd.
She's not smiling anywhere.
She was reported missing the next day. Her father says the day she disappeared, she had walked off into the woods.
Her sister and her got into an argument. Stefanie, from what I was told, took off through the woods. The trail used to be real prevalent through there.
From what I was told.
And it would go straight down to where the mud hole was. The kids would go down there, catch tadpoles and everything. And that's what everybody up here assumed she had done, was cut through the woods, went down the trail. Down.
You see this swampy area? Look at this. My God. They had water. They had heat. They didn't have running water. Hey, where the wind blows. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for your support. Appreciate that for you. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much for your support.
Under the mud hole and play. Well, when we came home.
Look at this. This is.
No Stefanie.
Searches in and around the Aroostook County town have turned up no sign of her. The FBI is offering a $15,000 reward for
See one of the drones.
any information leading to Damron or the prosecution of those responsible for her disappearance. According to the FBI, this October 6th would be Damron's 15th birthday. For more than a year are speaking out for.
And then there's the mom. People wrote here, it's hard to believe people who have that tail something mouth and clearly came to Maine on the run from child welfare authorities in Texas. You ran from people who were worried about your children, and then one of your child disappeared. No, this is not believable. Where are the below comments? So judgmental. The family is grieving. She get kidnapped? Someone's failed grammar school. Okay. They look guilty. I mean, someone said, I miss Peter Hyatt from Statement Analysis. Me too. Because I don't want to say I know what Peter would say, but I talked to Peter a lot behind the scenes. And in my opinion, he would be greatly concerned. Okay. This is from Locating the Lost, one of the guys we seen on News Nation earlier. One second here.
It seems to be, everybody seems to avoid it for some reason. That, I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be miserable to search, but that it's just, there's this one spot that if anything was, God,
This is the voice of the dad who went on this program, I think pretty recently. And listen to what he says. There's one spot that nobody's searched yet. Listen.
Is one place that it seems to be, everybody seems to avoid it for some reason. That, I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be miserable to search, but that it's just, there's this one spot that if anything was, God, this is hard for me to even freaking swallow. If anything was bad to have happened to her, it would have happened here. And I cannot get, the only thing that anybody will tell me is, oh, we can't get up in there.
So where's that? Is that close to your house?
Yes, it's about, if you go down our road, okay, once you drive by our driveway, if you go down about a half mile, there's a road. Well, West Midland comes out onto West Road. Well, where West Midland comes up, if you take a left there, you come up to a spot. It's a real wide spot. All the kids hang out there. They party. There's burnt tire tracks all over the ground all the time and everything. And there's a great big, like, I don't know if you want to call it a sludge pond, a pond, or what, but there's a guardrail area there and everything.
And
there's a road.
Won't look there?
I don't know if the police have completely looked there or if they have looked as well as they need to there.
And is this someplace you're thinking is visible from the road, or would be get down and dirty, we're going into them woods?
No, you can get to it from the road. God, this is real hard. If it was, honestly, if you wanted to drop a body, that would be the perfect place to drop a body. There, I said it. Is one place that it seems to be, everybody seems to avoid it for some reason. That
this is the dad.
I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be miserable to search, but that it's just, there's this one spot that if anything was, God, this is hard for me to even freaking swallow. If anything was bad to have happened to her, it would have happened here. And I cannot get, the only thing that anybody will tell me is, oh, we can't get up in there.
So where's that? Is that close to your house?
Yes, it's about, if you go down our road, okay, once you drive by our driveway, if you go down about a half mile, there's a road. Well, West Midland comes out onto West Road. Well, where West Midland comes up, if you take a left there, you come up to a spot. It's a real wide spot. All the kids hang out there. They party. There's burnt tire.
I don't think it's ADHD. I think it's, in my opinion, it seems
tracks
like
all over the ground all the time and everything. And there's a great big, like, I don't know if you want to call it a sludge pond, a pond, or what, but there's a guardrail area there and everything.
And state
and there's
police
a road.
won't look there?
I don't know if the police have completely looked there or if they have looked.
And is this someplace you're thinking is visible from the road, or would be get down and dirty, we're going into them woods?
No, you can get to it from the road. This is real hard. If it was, honestly, if you wanted to drop a body, that would be the perfect place to drop a body. There, I said it. Is one.
And he's talking about, he said Westmoreland. He said somewhere near Westmoreland, where down the road from them. And they live on West Road somewhere. But there's like two West Roads. This is West Road and this is West Road. Or he said Westmoreland. That's what he said. And I don't know like where the hell he's talking about, to be honest with you, but I'm guessing it would be somewhere next to this lake. Somewhere near this lake. Oh, wait, here's Westmoreland too, so it could be. Somewhere in here too, who knows? But this is, right here's Canada, right? Like right here's Quebec, right there. They live 11 miles from Canada. Yes, the FBI has been on this. They did a couple police conferences as well. Or FBI conferences, I guess you could say. Locating the lost, small channel, but he's done, they do a lot of really good work. I'm going to drop their link. They went really in depth with this case. Let me see here. Is this with the... Okay, look at this. Credit goes to WMTW. And this is the... Look at this.
John, Megan, Stefanie Damron's disappearance has received national attention, with police receiving tips from across the country and even in Canada. But today, 1 year later, Damron remains missing.
She's a 13-year-old child that just disappeared.
On September 23, 2024, then 13-year-old Stefanie Damron walked out of her family's rural home in New Sweden and into the woods by West Road. She has not been seen since.
She fell off the face of the earth, and those things don't happen out here in Sweden.
Damron's family lives off the grid in Aroostook County. The children are homeschooled without access to cell phones or computers, and Stefanie often would go out into the woods on their property.
It was not uncommon. This was not uncommon behavior for Stefanie.
Her parents reported Stefanie missing when she did not return home after 24 hours. And in the years since, the Maine State Police, Maine Warden Service, and FBI have scoured more than 4,500 acres, utilizing canine teams and drones, and conducted dozens of interviews, but they have not reported any evidence that would explain her disappearance.
Our priority has been getting her image seen, getting her story out there.
Christy Rand is part of a group called the Friends of Stefanie, with community members organizing searches, vigils, and information about the case. While they're thankful for police efforts, she says they're hoping for more transparency, since the last press conference from police was back in December of 2024.
Even a glimpse of whether or not there's a threat to the general public or if this is an isolated incident, if they have identified suspects, or if they have cleared certain suspects.
Yet 1 year since her disappearance, the group says continue the search for Stefanie.
We are very hopeful that she is safe and healthy and obviously alive. If that's not the case, we are going to continue. We are going to continue all the efforts that we're doing because she deserves to be brought home.
Now, this is the missing persons poster for Stefanie Damron, which can be seen throughout the state for Stefanie.
I don't know why it keeps repeating. Look at this. Check this out. Here's Dad. Here's Mom. I don't know if this is the 80-year-old uncle or who. They've got their rolling cigarettes.
1 year ago, a teen girl vanished into northern Maine's unpredictable wilderness. New Sweden, a family friend arrived at the...
Look at this. This is a picture of Stefanie. She's smiling there. This says Stefanie Damron in an updated photo has not been seen walking. This cannot be updated. She's not 13 here. This is like a 9-year-old. Where cultures meet. Okay. This says New Sweden, a family arrived at the New Damron homestead Monday afternoon and parked his car at the end of the long dirt path that snaked through the woods. He locked eyes with the couple sitting beside the bonfire. Quote, "I need to drive to New Hampshire," end quote. Drew Lozniak said, quote, "I can tell you why," end quote. Lisa Damron immediately understood and asked, "Is it for real?" He nodded and said, quote, "I think they know where Stefanie is," end quote. Lisa's 13-year-old daughter, who went missing a year ago this week, Stefanie, was last seen running into the dense North Maine woods beside the Damron's home in a tiny town in North Sweden, northwest of Caribou, a 20 miles from the Canadian border. I think it's 11 miles. Might be 20 though. Right here. Okay. I mean, it's a beautiful area, but it's so dense. And this is the little area. But look how swampy it is, some areas. Mr. and Mrs. E are great. We are continually praying for you, my friend.
Damron homestead Monday.
Look at the active missing persons case in North Maine. That's incredible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's Mom. You can tell there's a lot of living. You know, she looks really distraught there. She really does. She really does. I don't know. The neighbors, I had something with the neighbors. The neighbors say something's wrong here. And they were the ones that would give like they did call CPS on them quite a bit, actually. And was that it? No. I don't know. I'll try to find it, though. Thought I had it up somewhere, but I guess I don't. Make sure one more thing here. No, but I showed you guys some stuff earlier with the neighbors who said they do feel like something's wrong with this, and I gotta agree. Something's wrong here. Out in the boonies, school, these parents all sounded like, well, they apparently the kids are in school now. They are not being homeschooled. I mean, they have 6 kids. And then there's the mom and dad and the 80-year-old grandpa or uncle who is a family friend. And it was just that, I think it was just the 80-year-old and the 18-year-old that was there whenever got in a fight. When all that was going down. No, they're still in the same place. Yes, 6 kids. They go grocery shopping once a month. They buy, he says, $1,100 worth of food once a month. Yeah. But News Nation, not News Nation, forgive me, Crime Online said that the mom and the dad and the little kids lived in a trailer on the property, and then the older kids and the 80-year-old lived in a yurt. Probably, Linda. Well, I don't know how would they do laundry if they don't have running water. I mean, they don't even got running water, let alone a washer and dryer, I guess. Yep. It needs to be regulated everywhere. It's not like that a lot of places. Yeah, get your old washboard out. A yurt is basically around 10. Exactly. Wash a spinner. Janie's wash a spinner. I don't know how these people live. Oh my God. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. Oh, me too. Oh, I do laundry every day, man. Every day. And still can't keep up. Yep. All right, my loves. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Stay warm wherever you are. Appreciate you guys. Justice for little Stefanie Damron. Very much deserving. Please share this out. She really needs more attention. Mr. and Mrs. E, if you want a case that needs more attention, you get time. Check this case out. She really needs some attention. No, not at all. Not at all. All right, guys. God bless everyone. Good night. Thank you.